Good evening. As May's celebration continues today, I want to do an art stream tonight. The focus of the art stream tonight is going to be Star Wars characters, but given that Morrowind is also a part of May's celebration, I may be inserting a few Morrowind creatures and characters as well. My warm-up sketch today, for example, is going to be the most notorious hated creature in all of Morrowind. The notorious, legendary, and Cliff Racer. And if you've ever talked to a Morrowind player, you know how deadly a Cliff Racer is. And on a past stream last summer, I even showed off a mod called Racer Recursion, which takes Cliff Racers to a whole new level. Every time you kill one, two more spawn in its place. That mod has a reputation for being the most hated mod ever made. It's also one of the simplest in its execution, because it's just a simple script line that makes that mod work. Anyway, let's get over to the art. Let's start drawing a Cliff Racer. Camera's a little crooked tonight. Let's have that off screen. Let's see if I can't fix this a little bit. Good enough for tonight. Hold on. You can see off the desk. I don't want to show off the desk. I don't want to show the areas off the desk. Alright, that's good enough for tonight. Let's go ahead and start this Cliff Racer. And he starts with a ugly little face. And yes, Cliff Racers are supposed to be ugly. So even if I draw the sketch poorly, it's not going to be a huge deal, since they're supposed to be ugly in the first place. In fact, if this sketch doesn't look ugly, I've done something wrong. And you know what? I'm gonna take the mulligan on that. I've already messed it up. Not terribly, but it's got an iconic beak in front of its jaw, and I didn't take that into account. So let me try that again. This isn't the first time I've taken a mulligan on stream, but it's a very rare occurrence. And I don't usually do it when I'm more than a few steps into the sketch. Alright. That's a little bit better. So it's got this beak that comes down in front of its jaw, full of sharp teeth. And then it's got this kind of area in here in which its eye sits. Alright, not perfect, but good enough for what it is. And I'm going off of a low poly reference image from the game anyway, so. And then it just has a body that comes down like that. And I may have drawn that too long, but we'll worry about that later, because there is a way to fix that. So now, we've got to draw the first wing. And everything about this creature is angular and sharp. And I'll probably do another Morrowind creature later on as well. Yeah, this is how we're going to save that line. We're going to use that line to start the tail. And then there's kind of a texture line in here coming down from the neck down the wing arm like that. Now let's draw in the wing itself. So there's the first wing. And then it's also got wings on the bottom and top of its body as well. So we're drawing in the bottom wing now. And I should probably add some texture to that wing before I get too much farther. I drew that too far over, but that's not a big deal. So that goes up there, but then I can line up the wing down here. Let's draw in some texture lines on these wings. Oh, looks like only the top and the bottom wings have texture lines. But you can see some vein lines in the side wings. You know, they move so fast in the game, I don't think I've noticed that before in all my years of playing Morrowind. And it's got another wing that comes up along its other side like that. Yeah, its proportions are a little bit off. But like I said, cliff racers are supposed to be ugly to begin with. So this may still end up being my best sketch of the night, depending on how other things go later. Alright. And now for the top wing. What's it? Alright. So yeah, now we got its messy, wingy body going. We can now come here. And draw in this long tail it has, which ends in a little sharp pointy shape like that. And there it is. An interpretation of one of Morrowind's cliff racers. And I don't see my QCaller is supposed to drop me some requests in chat, so I'm going to need to come over here. Let's see. Is there another character I want to draw from Morrowind while I wait for QCaller to show up? Wow. We can give this guy a try, I think. Oh no, that's a very tiny resolution. Oh, apparently this character was also in online. But I want to draw his classic Morrowind appearance. Looks like he wears the same armor suit in online too. Oh, I wouldn't put it past him. What's this? Hold on, I saw something that caught my attention real quick. Oh. Let's see if I can't find one that's actually in a good resolution. Once I find a good reference of this image of this character, we're gonna proceed with the next picture. Is there any image of him with a resolution that I can actually use as a reference image? Because he's got a... I picked this character just because not only does he have an interesting character, but he's also got an interesting armor set. But if I can't find a decent resolution image of him, that's not going to help me now, is it? Why is every picture of this guy so tiny? All right, new plan. We're going to use 2 reference images. We are going to, unless I... Let's just see what happens if I blow up this image. Yeah, no. Alright, what we're going to do is we're just going to draw the armor set. We're going to... No. Okay, even the armor set images are tiny for this guy. Oof. Should have researched him before stream. Really wanted to do him. That's not much better. Alright, I'm wasting time now. Let me see. There is a monster type that looks like it's wearing that armor. You can't actually loot the armor off of that creature, though. So if I can find one of those creatures, I might still be able to do the armor. Can I use this? Not much better, but at least I can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to draw, I want to draw a creature called a Dremora. It wears, it looks like it's wearing the Daedric armor style, but you can't actually loot the armor off of Dremoras. Still, and the character I wanted to draw was a Telvanni wizard named Divaith Fear, who plays a big part in the main story. He's a very interesting character. He, in addition to being a multi-centuries old wizard, he's he also runs a little asylum in his basement, and that is home to Yagrum Bagarn, the last surviving dwarf. Lots of history there. We'll get into Divaith Fear one day. I actually want to do the puzzle quest that he has at his Corpusarium. on one of my future streams. But let's go ahead and draw this Dremora, which basically wears the same armor. And Dremora are basically a demonic creature that you can encounter at higher levels. I don't have to do any filling in of the eyes. They have glowing red eyes. Because, you know, that's a cliche of demonic creatures in many fantasy stories. Alright, he does have a pointy goatee, because that's another bad guy cliche. Huh. I drew his face too fat, that's okay. Let's just draw some texture lines in the face as well. And their face is the same color as the armor. They come from the Daedric realms. And then it's got this big, huge pauldrons on the shoulders. Spiky things, really. And then there's texture lines inside it as well. Alright. Draw another one of those on the other side. This is another low-res image like the Cliff Racer was. But hey, if I can draw this armor, then I can draw pretty much any Star Wars character, right? At least that's what the idea is. Those aren't supposed to be suns, those are just texture lines. And so this connects into the neckline, like these. And then there's a... Let's start drawing in the armor details. Start from the top and move down. There's a lot of spiky angles in this armor. It's definitely one of the more detailed armors in vanilla Morrowind, and exceptionally rare. In fact, the only complete set in the game is the one worn by Devaithfur. And then let's draw in the arm. We're going to draw in the arms. Well, this arm at least, because it's a little bit, it's shown in the reference image a little bit in front of the armor. So lots of spiky shapes in this armor. If my understanding is correct, Daedric armor is forged from cursed ebony. Ebony being a rare mineral in the game that the Empire claims exclusive rights to. There's actually an ebony mine in Caldera, but they don't, being an Imperial mine, it doesn't do any of the Daedric stuff. All right. Could be a little spikier, but that's okay. Let's see. And then the armor comes down. And then there's a couple rows of spiky bits. That's not. And then I think I drew too many of these plate sections. Alright, looks like I'm just taking creative liberties with it now, but that's okay, given how tough this plating is to... The overlapping of this plating is really difficult to piece out anyway. Oh. I guess we can draw 2 more layers of these middle plates. Alright, and I drew that belt coming off too long, but he's got a big, thick belt. Spiky bits coming off the belt buckle. And there's some texture lines on the belt. And then a bit of a red cloth, torn red cloth hanging down below the belt buckle. Kind of uneven, like this. Q, let me know when you get here, because I want to switch over to Star Wars as soon as you get here. Well, when I finish whatever picture I'm working on. And the legs have the leg armor has some spike action going on. And these look like just basic armor plates coming down like this. Now I understand why they simplified this armor and the design in the later games, even though the later games were capable of much better graphics overall. It's because they couldn't be bothered to draw and model this anymore. Alright, we'll do one more Morrowind picture after this, because there's something else I really want to draw from Morrowind. Oh, I never noticed that before. There's a little demon face in the kneecaps of this armor. I didn't really texturize the pants up there, did I? Some fabric lines in the pants. Wow. Morrowind is one of those games you can play for many, many years. In my case, almost its entire 20-year existence, and still learn something new about it all the time. So many hidden secrets in that game. I never noticed these demon faces in the Daedric armor kneecaps, for example. So yeah, we'll follow this up with one more Morrowind picture, and then I'll switch over to some Star Wars stuff. Let's see, he just needs one more arm and one more leg. I messed up that spike. Oh well. Let's at least draw the pants in. Let's line up this spike. And then bring in some more texture lines on the pants. I may have drawn that leg too thick. I definitely drew that spiky bit too long. It's not. It's not symmetrical anymore, but that's okay. It adds a little bit of spookiness to this armor. This armor is meant to be probably one of the spookiest in the game in terms of design. And I drew that spike way too low. Oh well, that kind of gives the idea that the front leg is slightly forward of the back leg, that and its slightly increased size. And proportions are off, so let me actually expand the pants a little bit. And creative liberties. I'll hide that line by putting some more detail on there. And the same deal up here. Let's make things symmetrical. Now, and this foot is shown at a slightly different angle. Alright, he just needs his last arm now, I guess. Alright, arm. Alright, not terrible. Could be better, but not terrible. So a Dremora and the fancy Daedric armor set from Morrowind. Let me leave that on screen until I get the next reference image up. Yeah, that's totally unusable. Almost as bad. Alright, which reference image do I want to go with this guy? I want one that includes the iconic shield for this one. Do I want to go with the concept art or the classic appearance in game? There's not a good reference image of this one, so I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're just gonna switch over to Star Wars. And Q Color is not here, so I'm gonna open up my Star Wars sketches. Which pose do I want? What's up with all these tiny resolution source images? Or I should say reference images. All the reference images are tiny resolution. Is this one usable? Barely. Can't even see the detail in that one. Yeah, we can go with the Forces of Destiny look for this one. If I can find one at a good enough resolution to use. Does this character not exist in a... I refuse to believe that this character doesn't have a high resolution reference image. Actually, that's not a bad reference image. What happens if I blow this one up? Yeah, we can use that. All right. Let me go ahead and start this next picture. I drew that face too fat. We're taking another mulligan. The head was too fat. Let's try that again. Gonna try not to make the face so fat this time. That's not perfectly symmetrical, but we can work with that. Draw some hairlines in. I did a little preview of Star Wars art last week when I drew Emperor Palpatine on my stream. Wait, she's got eyeshadow and eyebrows in this reference image? I'll try my best. I'm not the best at drawing faces. That's one area that I definitely need to practice some more. Okay. The head came together not too terribly. Let's proceed. All right. How's the beginning of this start out? Yeah, because I need to draw in the first part of the outfit before I can draw in the rest of the hair. So it looks like there's a little bit of a thin collar layer going up. And then and that's about as much of the clothing as I can draw before I draw in the arm that she has in her front. But first, let's fill in the rest of the hair. And there needs to be some texture lines in the hair, of course. All right. Man. Yeah, that's a rough looking hand. What kind of hand injury did she get? There. That texturizes the hand a little bit. That might be one of the worst hands I've ever drawn. And that's saying something. There's a couple fabric lines running across this. And let's do the other side of the fold. Still waiting for Q Color to show up. He's supposed to make some requests tonight. And she's got some kind of an arm wrapping going on up here. And then there's a little bit of an outfit behind. All right. And then there's a little bit of a belt section going on. Okay. And then she has some more bits of the robe flowing off her belt like this. Once I finish drawing this bit of the fabric, all right, now I can draw the backhand. That's in such a tiny resolution, I won't be able to do justice on this one either, it doesn't look like. Perspective looks off on that arm, even in the reference image. Hi. If Q doesn't show up soon, I may just end stream early and take a part 2. But I think I'm going to do at least one more after this if he doesn't show. I do kind of want to do a villain tonight, so. All right. So she has a skirt under these fabric flaps. And then there's one more fabric wrap around the back behind the legs. So I guess I gotta draw in the legs before or at least the first leg, before I draw in that last fabric flap. Those are some very nice boots she's got. I am going to take a short break after this picture because I do need to do need to check on something real quick. She needs one more leg. You know what, let's make this a little thicker as well. And let's give it some action. There we go. An attempt at Ray. This is actually from a concept art of the for one of the video games. Let me figure out what I want to do. I'm gonna mute for a minute while I figure out what I want to do. So I'll leave Ray out for you to enjoy while I figure this out. Alright, so Q is running late, so he's not going to be able to show up tonight. So I'm going to pick one more character to draw for now. And then we'll do a part 2 of the art stream. Who do I want to draw tonight? Let's draw something unexpected. I think. Wow, that's an interesting picture. Seriously though, what? I get why this character exists. It's just, yeah, let's pick something else. Who do I want to draw? I want to pick... Oh yeah, imagine all the hairlines I would have to draw if I picked one of these guys. Still, it's a challenge that I will have to take someday if I want to call myself a Star Wars artist. Let's see. What about this? That's still quite a bit of detail. That's a very large bit of detail. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to draw that one. How about we do... I want to draw... I want to draw a bad guy character. Oh yeah. Drawing one of these would be really relatively easy. I can work with this. So one more picture, and then we'll see what we want to do, if we want to do anything from there. This is a one of the more relatively simpler costumes in terms of ability to draw. So you know what? It's not an eye, but I'll fill in this visor anyway. I'm basically just doing one of the Emperor's guards. It's a relatively simple costume. And then a little bit under, we get his gauntlet sticking out from under his robes. I'm assuming it's a he. I'm sure there were some female guards because it was a position that was chosen based on skill and accuracy. But like all things Imperial, even though there were women in the ranks, it was more men than women. And then they hold this big staff is the weapon that they use. And then up here, let's draw in the staff so we can line it up as best we can. Here's the other hand. Oblo Mulbro. I've never heard of them, but I will look them up when I finish this picture. Is that fair? Oh, they left already. That's okay. I'll still look up the character and see if it's someone I want to attempt. And then a fabric line down the middle. And now just a whole bunch of flowing robes parts. Man, I'm actually starting to get warm. Let me reach over and turn my fan on. I've never understood how these long flowing robes, I mean, they add to the mystery of and threat level of the character, but they don't really seem practical for combat, and yet these guys are the deadliest in the galaxy. And this one has a few fabric line coming down here and around that way. That's another fabric. Alright, let's draw in the rest of the weapon now, because it seems I left it unfinished. So it's a staff with a sharp pointy end. And now he has one leg, armored leg, sticking out from under his cloak. I never realized that the armor was so detailed under the cloak. Because in the movie, all we really get is the cloak. So I'm going to look up this character that was mentioned in the chat. Let me just finish drawing in the rest of the cloak behind the leg. And perspective would dictate that the other leg should be partially in the picture, as poorly located as I drew that, but whatever. Yeah. Yeah. I drew the exit of the leg too far over. That's what the problem is with this one. The robe's actually supposed to line up like that, but yeah, there's no saving this one. And I actually left off a whole big, huge chunk of the robe down here as well, like that. The more I try to fix it, the worse it's going to end up looking, so let's just leave it. Let me look up this character real quick. Ubla Mulbro. Never heard of them. Ah, the opera singer from Canto Bight. I knew I would recognize them if I saw the picture. Let's see if I can't get a reference. Okay. Yeah, we can do this character. Just let me find a reference image. There's not very many reference images of this character. Yeah, all right. So we can use that higher res image. Okay, this is a weird alien opera singer from the Canto Bight Casino. Her name is Ubla Marlborough. Somebody dropped by chat and requested this and then disappeared, but it looks like an interesting character design. And we all know I haven't done enough challenges tonight. So yeah, I'm going to draw this picture, and then we're going to do a part 2 of the art stream on Thursday. I think Thursday we're just going to do Star Wars. If I do any Morrowind, it'll be like 1. This is one of the weirder alien designs in Star Wars. But I like its uniqueness. And then she has her hair tied up in this cone atop her head, a cone of hair. I'll just keep drawing in bits of hair. This is one character I never thought I'd ever be drawing because I didn't even remember who it was until I looked her up. But yeah, definitely an interesting looking character. Alright, now how am I going to draw the rest of this? Okay, so according to the Wikipedia, these bulbous shapes all over her body are supposed to be eggs. Like apparently this is one of those weird insectoid species or something. And then these drape, the robe drapes around the side like this. Let me, so apparently Her body is filled with these eggs. All right. Now if I can just figure out how to draw her little robe thing she has going on. Yeah, there's another layer of the robe, like, or I shouldn't say layer, I should say fold. And there's a lot of fabric lines given how it folds around. And then let's draw in her forearms. All right. And before I continue, I just want to look at this. I want to look up this alien species real quick, because it's definitely looking like one of the more unique ones in Star Wars. And now we'll draw the rest of the robe. Well, this is technically a Star Wars character, so... Alright. I want to learn about this real quick. Interesting. Apparently she does appear in Lego Star Wars. Interesting. Okay, so this species was actually first described in 1989, but never actually used in Legends, and not used in any Star Wars material until The Last Jedi. Interesting. So yeah, apparently the Apparently, the Canto Bite Cantina singer is the only appearance of this alien so far. Hmm. Well, I think that's a nice, interesting place to conclude. Certainly got some interesting content tonight. Let's see. So the recap for the night is we got a Cliff Racer from Morrowind, a Dremora wearing Daedric armor from Morrowind, Ray, um, a poorly proportioned Imperial Royal Guard, and Ubla Mulbro, the Canto Bite casino singer. You know what? This is our weirdest picture for the night. We'll leave it out for a moment. Well, do I want to do a raid? They told me not to raid them. We're going to raid Sandy AJ tonight, I think. Yeah, that's our best call. We'll raid Sandy AJ, so have a good night. Let me set this up. I'll be back with more content. I'll probably do a Morrowind stream tomorrow. And we'll be back with part 2 of Star Wars art on Thursday. Alright. The raid has been set up. So have a good night. And I hope to give you solid content. And we'll have a very special stream coming up on Friday. So I hope to give you a much more solid week of content this week. Have a good night. Very special stream coming. Much more solid.